Hi guys, I hope you had a good week. Again, getting my questions on Saturday because I spend 10-hour days in the clinic and I don't have a lot of extra time. So I had question one, which is essentially also questions three. It's all those questions, so I'm just going to really quickly summarize the other stories. The instructions were a little confusing. Um, I don't know, but here goes nothing. So the first story, the story of Rhonda with ovarian cancer. You know, when you find out a diagnosis like that, it can be hard to cope, and you can you can feel super hopeless, but you can find hope in there. You can accept it. You can still do important and wonderful things with your life, have a high quality of life. But it's hard to get out of a wormhole we often dig ourselves into. So a lot of people who are feeling hopeless and depressed or having a hard time coping with a traumatic diagnosis, I think that we can help them kind of reframe their thought process and restructure the way they think. And spirituality and religion offers it's a strategy. It offers a new way of thinking and it gives people hope. So you can, in Rhonda's case, hope was the cure for depression, which she found through spirituality and religion. So the woman in her 50s with cancer, asking, why me? She said, you get angry at God. If you've ever had something bad happen to you and you get mad at God and you're like, why me? What did I do to deserve this? And that's just not the case. We live in an imperfect world, and it's normal to have questions and doubt and anger, but we have to be careful and we can't let ourselves get too sunken into that anger. And we could work with her, and her physicians worked with her to talk about that anger, because it's important to talk about it and then move forward. Robert, who was diagnosed with dementia at age 78, you live your whole life healthy, nothing has ever happened wrong, nothing has ever gone wrong with your mind, and it can be hard coming to peace, but just helping people accept it, again, important. Let's see. Karen, chronic headaches. I think it's easy for us to write off if a patient is constantly complaining about something or may seem a little bit of a hypochondriac. And so in her case, she had a history of depression, so every time she'd come in, they just assumed it was related to her anxiety and depression. So when she started to think, well, maybe it's a brain tumor, nobody listened to her. They all kind of dismissed it, but Polchalski and the team took her concern very seriously, and she did end up having a brain tumor. So maybe some of these people have built up a wall around them. They don't trust physicians, or they don't understand the process, so it's important for us to build relationships with them. All right. Benjamin, 6-year-old man diagnosed with lung cancer. He had never smoked, or he had smoked his whole life, and so he was devastated, but he decided, even though it was treatable, curable, a reasonable chance of cure with surgery and radiation, he said he didn't want or deserve the treatment because he did it to himself, and it was a punishment from God, because all he had known was his school-based education of, if you do this, God will judge you. If you do this, God will judge you, and that's just not always the case. And so he worked with his chaplain. Okay.